In section 2.3, we're going to get used to using formula. And actually, they picked volume formulas, which are some of the more complicated formulas. They've got fractions. They've got the Greek symbol pi in there. But anyway, we'll get through it. We'll do fine with it. So let's look at this example. You see that can of tennis balls there. And they say that tennis balls are packaged in a cylindrical can, but of course the balls are round, so we've got some air pockets in here. There's some empty space in the packaging cylinder. And how much airspace is there in the cylinder? Well, they give us some information about the tennis balls. First of all, they tell us that the radius of the tennis ball are 3.3 centimeters. And they tell us the height of the can is 6 times the radius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So the height of the can can hold 3 balls. They tell us the height of the can is 19.8 centimeters. All right, so if we want the amount of air, the volume of the air left in the can, we're going to have to find the volume of the whole can as if it's filled up, and then we're going to subtract out the volume of the 3 tennis balls. That's what this formula is saying. Now the volume of a can is pi times the radius squared times the height. That's what this is. Pi times the radius squared times the height. That is the formula for the volume of a cylinder. And then we want to subtract out 4/3 pi times the radius cubed is the volume of a sphere. And of course, we're going to have 3 balls. So we're going to subtract out 3 of the balls. 4/3 pi times the radius. This should be cubed. So the question here is the calculation below is intended to find the volume of the empty space, but there's something wrong with it. What's wrong with it is the volume of a sphere, the volume of a round ball, is 4/3 pi times the radius raised to the third, not to the second. So these units would not be correct. That would not be the volume. Volume is always something raised to the third, centimeters cubed. All right, so we're going to fix this. Find the fix needed to correct the mistake. So the volume of the air is going to equal the volume of the whole can, as if it was full, minus 3 times the volume of a sphere. And that is pi times the radius squared times the height minus 3 times 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. This is my correct calculation. I'm sorry, these are my correct formulas right there. Area of a cylinder minus the area of 3 balls, 3 spheres. So here they want us to use our corrected formula to find the volume of the can and the volume of the 3 balls. They want the volume of the can and the volume of the 3 balls. So first of all, they want us to find the volume of the empty space in the can. Okay, so this is the volume of the can. Pi times the radius squared times the height. Pi times the radius squared times the height. Okay, so my pi button is right here. The blue key pi is above my caret. So the volume of the can is going to be pi times my radius, which is 3.3, close the paren, squared. Here's my squared button. And then that is times the height, and my height was 19.8. 677.40 centimeters cubed. 677.40 centimeters cubed. That's the volume of the can. Now we want to find the volume of the can. They ask us this in two different places here, so we'll put it in two different places. Now let's find the volume of the balls. So there are 3 of them, so we're going to multiply by 3. 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Now that's got a lot of 3's in it. 3, 4/3 pi radius cubed. This is the volume of 1 tennis ball, and we actually have 3 of them. So when we do this calculation, multiply by 3, divide by 3 are going to cancel. So the volume of the balls is going to be 4 pi times 3.3 raised to the 3rd. 4 pi times 3.3, and that's going to be raised to, that's my caret key, raised to the 3rd, which is 451.60. So the volume of the balls is 451.60 centimeters cubed. Volume of the balls, 451.60 centimeters cubed. So what's the volume of the air? How much air is in my can? It's going to be the whole can if it was filled up minus the 3 tennis balls. So the volume of the air is going to be 677.60 minus 415.60. Oh, sorry, this one's 40. 677.40 minus 451.60. 225.8 centimeters cubed. That is the amount of air in the canister. So the next question is, what is the percentage of the volume that is filled by the tennis balls? Well, if the tennis balls are 451.60 and the whole can is 677.40, the percentage is going to be how much of the tennis balls are taking up the whole can. Now this is going to come out to a decimal. We're going to have to move the decimal place over 2 to change our answer to a percentage. So 451.60 divided by 677.40 is 6667. But our answer as a percentage is move the decimal over 2. And add the percent sign. So 2/3 of the can, 66.67% of the whole can is taken up by the tennis balls. And this question here, number 5, this was really 451.60 centimeters cubed divided by 677.40 centimeters cubed. The centimeters cubed cancel. There's one in the numerator and one in the denominator, so there are no units. This was just a decimal. There were no units left. And will that always happen when finding a percentage? Yes, that will always happen.